Welcome to the channel, to this 3,000 point Horus Heresy game on the shattered world of Isstvan 3. It's World Eaters versus Loyalist Emperor's Children. This is the Avenue of Martyrs, one of the routes to the Precentor's palace, and the way is blocked. The avenue has been turned into a kill box. The traitor World Eaters, led by Khan the Bloody, have set a trap for the Emperor's Children, but the trap will not be sprung this day because the Emperor's Children are led by the Supreme Commander, Sol Tarvitz, and instead of going straight down the Avenue of Martyrs, each force will be clashing either side of the avenue. So it's standard deployment, 12 inches in, and we're going to be playing the 3,000 point game called Shatter Strike. The way this works is you want to get as many forces as you can in your opponent's deployment zone. Line troops cost two victory points each. Everything else will be 1 victory point each. So both sides are trying to break each other's lines by getting as many units as they can in their opponent's deployment zone, and at the same time stopping their opponent by pushing as many units as they can in their deployment zone. There's also an extra point for killing the Warlord and killing more, and this game might go on to 6 turns on a 50-50 dice roll at the end of turn 5. So the battle map in front of you is from urbanmats.com. This is their cobblestone battle map. We've got some 3D printed crates here or there, but apart from that, all the terrain that you see is from marchofwar.co.uk, including the statues and the bunkers and the barrels and all the stuff and things are put down to dress the table. So a glorious table from marchofwar.co.uk. And talking about glorious marchofwar.co.uk. Hello, James from marchofwar.co.uk.
Hello, Winters. How are you, mate?
I'm good. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
So you've been playing a bit of Heresy.
I've not played for a little bit. I've been pushing on 40k, but I've got the urge to play some fun and enjoyable Heresy.
Why? Why the urge? What is it about the Heresy?
Great. It's old stories and old grudges and amazing narrative and all the fun and things and...
How many points of World Eaters have you got?
14 or 15,000.
14 or 15,000.
In Heresy colours. I've got a load in 40k colours as well, but that's my Heresy lot.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So this is 3,000 points worth of Emperor's Children, gloriously painted by me, and all the bases that you see, these lovely bases, are also from James, marchofwar.co.uk, so thank you for all the lovely bases.
And you've done a beautiful job of painting them all. They look fantastic.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm not running a Rite of War today. Rites of War allows you to monkey around with the way that your force all go together. But Emperor's Children get an extra initiative on the charge. What's initiative, 40k players say? Well, in Horus Heresy, you don't fight in who charges first order. What you do is you fight in initiative order. The higher the initiative, the better. And all Space Marines tend to have initiative 4. So most of the time, Space Marine fights happen at the same time, initiative 4 versus initiative 4. But if I go charging in, I'm initiative 5, so I get to strike down some of the World Eaters before they attack me. Each force has an advanced reaction as well, and we'll get to that in the game. My commander today will be Sol Tarvitz, the first Loyalist. He allows me to do an additional reaction in the shooting phase. The way reactions work are essentially there's 3 stratagems that you can pop, 3 reactions that you can pop each phase. One of them is in the movement phase. So if an enemy unit comes within 12 inches of you, you can advance or draw, move forward or move backwards. In the shooting phase, there's 2 that you can do. You can either return fire or take cover, which is called shrouding. So Sol Tarvitz allows me to do 2 of them. And then in the assault phase, there's overwatch or stand ready, basically. But yeah, 2 reactions in the shooting phase. The second part of his warlord trait is fearless. If certain conditions are met, like he's outnumbered or I'm being outpointed, him and all Emperor's Children units within 12 inches of him are fearless. And he's very, very good in challenges, one-on-one challenges. His initiative can go through the roof. I mean, he's a Praetor at initiative 5, gets +1 initiative on the charge and if it is 6. And in the challenge, +2 initiative to initiative 8, which is higher than most Primarchs.
I was going to say that's
when he goes charging it.
That's unbelievable.
Sol Tarvitz is an absolute duelist.
Well, he's such a legend in the book as well.
He is. His weapon also can ignore armor on force to wound. Standing next to him is a Consul Armistos with his iPad there. He's got his little iPad in his hand. He's a little upgrade. What you do with this guy is you can put him with a shooty team, either a melter team, a las cannon team, something like that, and he doesn't shoot, but taps on his iPad and tells the team next to him to hit on 2s. So this is a team of Sun Fury, las cannon, Emperor's Children, 10 of them there that can potentially return fire. And with the Armistos attached to them, they also ignore night fighting rules, and they're just absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. Running around with them is 2 Land Raiders. I've got a unit of 6 Phoenix Blade Terminators in 1 Land Raider, and both of the Land Raiders have got all the las cannons and multi-melters on the top hatch, and a unit of 10 Palatine Blades running around in the 2nd Land Raider. Again, las cannons, multi-melters on top. There is a Dreadnought Talon over here. They've both got melters in their fists. Once you deploy them within 6 inches of each other at the start of the battle, Dreadnoughts can then run off and do their own thing. They count as their own units. 2 Rhinos with Dozer Blades, so they don't get immobilized. And just 2 troop units. One's got 10, one's got 11 in it because of points. And the sergeants in both squads have artificer armor, melter bombs. He's got a power sword. This one's got, he's the Lightning Claws guy. There's an Augury Scanner and a Vexilla in this squad because of points. And then I brought a veteran squad along. And in the veteran squad, so these have 2 wounds and a better weapon skill. And the sergeant's got a Thunder Hammer, Melter Bombs, Artificer Armor. He's tooled up for days. There's 2 guys with claws in this squad, and everyone else has got Charnable Blades. So the way Shatter Strike works is these units are worth 2 points each if they get in the World Eaters deployment zone, my scoring units. Everything else except for the vehicles will be worth 1 point each if they get in the enemy deployment zone. And I have got some punch. I am not scared of the World Eaters. The plan is to jump on them before they jump on me. And I've got quite a bit of Dakar as well. No Terminators in this list, but 2 Dreadnoughts. No standard Terminators in this list. Instead I've got Phoenix Blade Terminators. These guys are lovely. I like them. They're specialists. So Tarvitz is breaking out the last of the Loyalist specialists today. A bit of white spattered throughout the list here. White signifies Terran ancestry. That means they originally came from Terra. The extra platinum that you see on some of the Palatine Blades and some of the Phoenix Terminators, that is particularly elite status. They've done something very, very special. And of course I've got Sol Tarvitz. He's the first Loyalist. He's the true hero of Isfahan 3. What?
Hello. I was just saying you the effort you've put into these with all your bits of this, bits of white for the guys from Terror, and all your platinum. It's like such a lovely touch to the army. It really makes them feel.
It's Mark 4 or Mark 5 Heresy pattern. I've made it. Yeah.
You've put some love into these.
I know.
They look great.
I'm loving the Heresy right now.
Yeah.
And this is a portion of your 14,000 points worth of World Eaters. World Eaters have Violence Incarnate. So when they charge, they get an extra attack on the charge. In Horus Heresy, when you charge, you get an extra attack anyway. So basically, World Eaters get an extra 2 attacks on the charge all the time. And you've taken the Berserker Assault Rite of War, which allows you to take Rampages as troops. But the other thing that it does is it gives you plus 2 inches every time you run and plus 2 inches every time you charge. They're hungry, they're thirsty, they want to get in there.
Coming at you, man.
And you're leading the charge with Khan the Bloody. He's an absolute G. He's got many, many attacks. What needs to be said? Oh, extra reaction in the movement phase. And the other thing about Berserker Assault is if you are in range to charge, you have to try and charge. So they're going to be going very quickly. They're going to be charging whatever they can see. A Khan, his special ability, as well as an additional reaction in the movement phases, you can't react to his charges. I can't fire overwatch. I can't set to defend. He's going to be flying in. Do you want to talk us through the army, what you've got here, James?
Yes. So
and all the glorious bases from marchofwar.co.uk. And also you do commission work if anyone's interested.
Do indeed, yes.
So commission work, hit him up at marchofwar.co.uk.
Thank you very much, dude. So, coming on this side, we've got a squad of 20 assaults, legionaries, Warhawk jump packs, upgraded their chainswords and bolt pistols to chain axes and bolt pistols.
Yeah, normally you can't take chain axes in a jump assault infantry squad, but World Eaters, everywhere you can take a chainsword, you can take a chain axe. Yep. So there's chain axes everywhere.
For free.
Extra strength. Artificer armor on the sergeant?
Artificer armor on the sergeant, indeed.
Okay.
No other upgrades on them. Then we've got my other troops choice, which is a squad of 10 legionaries.
Yep.
We've got artificer armor on the sergeant with a power sword and a bolt pistol.
Yes.
They've got a rhino to be whizzing around in.
Okay.
Then from this end, we've got a squad of 11 rampagers.
Right.
Which are going to have Khan joining them in the Land Raider.
Okay.
They've all got the phalanx blades.
Which is extra
which
attack.
Is an extra attack and
they
choppy.
Rend.
They do shred.
They just shred
well,
through
we say
armor.
shred, but they rend.
They rend. Basically on 4s, it ignores armor.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, they are impressive. Then we've got another squad of rampagers. This one has got 10 in it.
Yes.
These have all got the meteoric hammers, which are...
Extra strength?
Extra strength and +1 reach, which reach is an extra initiative.
Yeah.
So they're hitting better. They're hitting sooner.
Swinging those hammers around. Balls on chains,
Balls
basically.
on chains and spikes on chains, yes. So they've got the apothecary and the praetor going in with them.
Right, yeah, because over here you've got an apothecary going in that squad, and this praetor, you've spent all the money on him because he's got 2 Paragon weapons, which is 60 points, and you master crafted them.
Yeah, indeed.
So he's a praetor with base 5 attacks, 7 attacks on the charge, because he's got World Eaters, and with Mastercrafted he's going to be rerolling a hit.
Yeah.
And Paragon Blades are nasty, AP2, and Murderous Strike on 6s they instant kill. Yeah, Khan and him will be battling each other to see who kills as many as possible.
I think so.
Yeah. Another Rampager squad.
So another Rampager squad. So then there's the Rampager squad at the back. They're a mixed squad.
Okay.
Some Phalanx Blades, some Meteoric Hammers, and then some of the Eviscerated Chain Axes.
Okay.
Which are kind of like Thunder Hammers. They're low initiative, initiative 1,
yes,
but very choppy if they actually get to strike.
Yes.
And then in front of them is this guy.
Leviathan.
No, that guy. He's my champion.
Okay.
Who is champion
with a pair of lightning
claws and a jump pack.
Okay, so he must try and issue and accept challenges. So you've basically got Khan leading 1 squad of rampagers, a praetor leading another squad of rampagers, and a champion leading the squad with these.
Yep.
And the Land Raiders, you haven't put multi-melters on, but they have got all the Laz.
Yep.
Talking about Laz, there's 2 separate predators on this side of the battlefield with Gravis Laz cannons on top and Laz side sponsoons as well.
Yep.
And the Leviathan, because you didn't have enough forward punch, you wanted even more.
I thought I'd have a bit more, yeah. And obviously punch. Bring some guns, so he's got melters in his fist.
Yeah, he's got melters and Volkites in his chest.
Yeah.
I have to tell you that I'm slightly terrified by everything in front of you.
I'm quite terrified by your Las Cannon Death Squad.
My Las Cannon Death Squad should be able to pick on something every turn and kill it, which might... I'm going to need it.
You are.
In this case, I think I might need it.
It's going to be good.
Let's go on to deployment. Bolters and las cannon fire cross the Avenue of Martyrs on the way to the Precentor's Palace. Everyone is deployed, and I got to drop first. That's what happens in Heresy. An army drops first, then James got to counter-deploy, and then I'll be going first, unless the World Eater sees the initiative. I've got a unit of troops all the way down here, and a unit of troops all the way up there, because they'll be worth 2 points so long as we shatter strike and break through the enemy lines at the end of the game. As I said, everything else will be worth 1 point except for the vehicles. Here's the veterans here. The 2 dreadnoughts are in the middle. Terminators, Soul Tarvets in there with a Palatine. But the big chunk is in the middle, ready to push forward with lots of line of sight block and train in front of me, just in case the World Eater sees the initiative. And we have a Predator on one flank with a unit of Rampagers with jump packs. And then we have a Predator on the other flank with the 20-man Legionary squad. They move 12 with those jump packs.
They do.
Plus 4 because they're initiative for the run. Plus 2 because so they're going 18 inches when they run. But of course you can't charge. Yeah. But 18 inches puts them like here. Predator there. That's the normal unit of troops down there. So these on this side you've got a lot of scoring. And then in the middle, Khan's in this one, and the Leviathan is just behind those crates. And your Praetor, and your Apothecary, and the other murder squad is in this Land Raider over here. So 3,000 points, because that's what games of Horus Heresy are set at. We're not doing night fighting.
We're not.
Do you want to steal from me?
I do.
Steal the initiative.
I would love to steal the
Stealing's
initiative.
bad, dude.
It's not. It's great.
Don't roll a 6.
Just 1 6.
Don't roll a 6. Don't roll a 6. It is the Loyalists, Emperor's Children, across the blasted battlefield of Isfahan 3 in turn 1. At the end of the movement phase, the Emperor's children cautiously advance. Over here, for example, no point in busting my rhino straight up here, because then the rampagers will charge the rhino, surround it completely, wreck it, and then slaughter all the occupants as they try and get out. The same thing with the rhino on this flank. The World Eaters move so quickly. So a cautious advance, the veterans staying a bit back as well. The only thing that ran forward is the 2 Contempted Dreadnoughts right into the kill box in the middle of the battle grid on the Avenue of Martyrs. But we have lined up some shots, and over here the best shot for my Sun Fury squad, the las cannons, is looking across the table. I can't actually see that Land Raider, and there's only 2 that can see that one and about 3 that can see that Predator. So the best shots that we have is through the ruin, through those windows, and down into that Predator there. And there's 8 that can see, which hit on 2s, and I'm slamming into the side armor of the Predator. And I think I need 3s to glance, but with Sunder, you can re-roll against armor. You're getting ruin saves, so 6 up cover saves, 4 glances come through.
4 glances.
Okay.
No.
They all go through. You're going to have to do the 2 pens as well, because it might go up. Drop dice don't count. No. Oh. So because the penetrating hits can blow up the rhino on 6s. I don't blow up the rhino, it's just wrecked. And I said rhino, I meant Predator. Moving around here, we're coming to Land Raider. On Land Raider action, all the guns from this Land Raider are going to go into that Land Raider there. The sponsoons on the side are not twin-linked, and they hit on 3s. And the one in the nose is twin-linked, so it hits on a 3 and can re-roll. And strength 9 versus armor 14 means I need 5s to glance. With Sunder, I can re-roll, and that is 2 pens and a glancing hit. So you're taking cover or shrouding. So you've got 1 glance on a 5 and 2 pens on 5s. Here's the glance. You shroud it. The pens. You shroud them all.
Oh, look at that.
All the shots
like pop smoke and
go into the smoke. Exactly. Yeah. That's the multi-melter is twin-linked, and I need a 6. Doesn't do anything. Okay, so all of these shots bounce off the side of the Land Raider. We're coming across to this one. Now in Horus Heresy, normally you can't split fire. There's only a couple of units that can split fire, and a Land Raider is one of them with Power of the Machine Spirit. So I've got 3 guns going at that Land Raider. This left gun can't actually, because you draw line of sight from the weapons.
From the weapon, yeah.
Can't hit that, but the left gun can hit that one.
Yep.
That's shrouded already.
Yep.
So I need to hit you. Hit you both times. I need to glance you. With Sunder, that is 1 glancing hit. You get a 5-up cover save because I can't see any of the side armor. No, that's a glancing hit. It goes down to 4 hull points remaining, and here's the remaining las cannons coming in on that Land Raider. Non-twin link guns, twin link las cannon, and then again 5s to glance and 6s to pen. 1 penetrating hit on that Land Raider. You get a 6-up cover save because I'm firing through a lot of stuff. And you make a 6 will blow up, James.
Roll 1.
That is a 4, plus 1 is a 5, which is only weapon destroyed. Multi-melter needs a 6. That doesn't do anything. So the sponsoon on this side has been ripped off. Both of the Land Raiders are on 4 hull points remaining. And then there was a couple of combi bolter shots, which were just in range of the Legion Assault Squad over here, and managed to kill one. And that is the end of my turn 1. The World Eaters set a trap for the Loyalist Emperor's children on Isfahan 3, but Sol Tarbit's got the drop on them and has managed to rain some firepower in first. Only destroying a Predator, however, as we go on to World Eaters turn 1. Here we are after the Traitors movement phase. There's a unit inside this Rhino here, and the Assault Squad jumps forward, which are line and our troops. And as they came jumping out of this difficult terrain here, one of them gets cut down by a stray bolter. They mean to go charging in to this Rhino over here. Talking about charging in, Khan has already disembarked from his Land Raider with his Rampager squad, and he was lining up both of my Dreadnoughts. So one of them decided that
take a step to the
to
right.
take a couple of steps back away from Khan. I don't want to lose both of them in turn 1. That would be absolutely brutal. Round here, the other Land Raider with the Rampager squad and the second Praetor is staying inside the transport for now, but they have got my Land Raider in a crossfire with the Predator. And then the second squad has come all the way over here. Did this one run? This one ran to get all the way up there. So I don't think you lost anyone in that squad. No. They jumped up and over. But basically you're pressuring my lines on the left and in the centre and on the right. And the World Eaters first have a shooting attack. On this flank, none of the weapons can actually hurt the vehicles over here. Plus, you can only shoot at what you want to charge anyway. So they can't shoot pistols down this way, then go charging into the Rhino. You have to shoot and charge the same thing in Heresy. In the Land Raider in the middle, however, we've got a couple of shots coming into my Land Raider and the left Sponsoon hitting the left Land Raider over there. Right-hand Sponsoon Gravis hits on, this is the Twin Link one, which hits on a 3. And then you've got the 2 Gravis shots hitting on 3s. And that is 2 hits. You need 5's to glance, 6's pen, and you've got Sunder, so you can re-roll them. Nothing. It just bounces off the side of the Land Raider. What will the left Sponsoon do? Will it be able to crack that one open? There's 2 shots with that. It's Gravis.
It's 2 shots. It's Twin Linked.
It's Gravis. These are Gravis. They're 2 shots each.
The wrong way around.
The one on the front, yes.
Sorry.
So you get 2.
My bad.
They both hit. Again, 5's glance, 6's pen. That's a glance of the pen. You can re-roll it with Sunder if you want.
No, I'm good. I'll leave it at that.
Some of my side armour is obscured. So a 6 up cover save on the glance and on the pen.
Ooh.
So I won't shroud. I don't know how many more shots you've got coming through. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to shroud. It just takes a glancing hit. So the Land Raider's down to 4 hull points remaining, but this Sponsoon's cracked, but the other guns can see and are shooting through everything into the Land Raider. So 2 Gravis shots, hits on 3s, and one of them hits, and then the Twin Link one hits on a 3. And those all hit, and 5's to glance, 6's to pen. We have 1 glance so far. You can re-roll that glance for a pen if you want to.
He gives such good advice.
2 glancing hits, 2 6-up saves, and that's 2 more glances. Now, I'm not going to shroud again because I know the Predator is probably lining up something. So I'll just take those 2 glancing hits, down to 2 hull points remaining. What you're doing with the Predator?
I'm going to put everything into the Land Raider.
Brilliant, okay.
Let's pop
Can't see any of the side armour, so we'll get a 5-up cover save on the side, but... you can do it all together because none of them are twin linked.
They're not.
3's to hit. Only 2 hits. 5's glance, 6's pen. With Sunder, re-rolling. And we have 1 penetrating hit, which I get a 5-up cover save. And then I'll shroud on this because I don't think you've got many more shots coming through for a 5. No, the pen goes through. So it's D6 plus 1 to this because the shot is AP2.
Ooh.
And that's a 6. That's a dead Land Raider. There's 11 models inside, which get wounded on 2s, and they all have 2-up saves, and they all make it. When they come out, they might get pinned, and they're going to be pinned unless Tarvitz is fearless for some reason right now, because sometimes he's fearless, sometimes he isn't. No, Tarvitz and his squad are pinned. The Land Raider caught in a crossfire, the unit emergency disembarks and takes cover. And that is the end of the shooting phase. There are a couple more pistols that shot in the middle, but that was it. Now we're on to the charge phase, and Khan and his rampagers want to charge my dreadnought here. I'd rather that didn't happen. So do I want to counter-charge you? I'll just overwatch, hitting on 2s, and I'll kill 1 on a 4. 1 dies. Rampagers have 2 wounds, but the multi-melter shot is double their toughness, so it just insta-kills 1. And it would be a 6-inch charge, but 4-inch charge because of your right of war. Good luck.
I'll get another one, shall I?
And that's a 6. You make the charge. Then over here it's a 4 or 5 with this squad of assault guys. And they're going to make the charge as well. So the Legion Assault Squad make it here. There's 15 of them that can fight.
There is.
2 attacks, plus 1 for the charge, plus 1. That's 40. 4 times 15. 60 attacks.
60 attacks.
And
wow.
You're hitting the Rhino on 2s. Hitting on 2s, wounding on 5s. This number of glancing and penetrating hits, that is a dead Rhino. It cannot blow up, however, but the unit inside might be pinned when they get out. They're not pinned. So the Legion Tactical Squad disembarks from the rear of the Rhino. The Rhino stays on the battle grid. It just counts as a piece of terrain now. Just an empty lump of metal. And Yeah, that was painful. I have got a unit of vets around here that can countercharge, but before we go on to that, highest initiative goes first. And down in the fight with the Dreadnought, that'll be Khan. Khan has 7 attacks on the charge and he hits on 3s. Okay, 4 get through. It's rending 4+, so on 4s it'll wound, 6s it'll really wound with Murderous Strike. He only gets 1 wound through. Interesting. 5 up and vulnerable save. I don't make my invulnerable save. I take a wound. Now we're on to initiative 4. The Dreadnought and the Rampagers have the same initiative, so this fight happens at the same time. They're both weapon skill 5, so I'll go with my Dreadnought first. So I'm hitting you on 4s and killing on 2s. At least the Dreadnought takes 2 of them out, but can the Rampagers take him down? These Rampagers have 2 Phalanx Blades each, which gets them to 5 attacks each on the charge. 51 attacks coming in. You're right there.
Yeah, just about.
That's a lot of dice. Okay, 51 attacks. 4s to hit, sir.
4s to hit.
That looks average. James?
Yes?
I just remembered I killed one with Overwatch.
Right.
And you can't react against Khan, so you got 5 more attacks.
Oh, no.
Which hit on 4s. That's 3 more hits. And they rend on a 4, ignoring armour.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
13 wounds at AP2 equals my 2+ armour. Goes straight through, so I need 5 up and vulnerable saves. And it's only got 5 wounds left. That is a dead Dreadnought, which blows up only an inch. And this hits 3 of the Rampagers and Khan. So 3 up saves, because it's strength 8. And that kills 2 of them in an explosion. And Khan needs to make a 2-up save or he gets hit by a big slab of, oh, he's okay. Khan consolidates forward. He does not take a step back. Also, that keeps him largely safe from the las cannon team as well, because there's floors in front of them. So there's very few that can shoot down. I do have a Dreadnought that can respond over here. But, all the Terminators who could get out of that Land Raider and come charging around that way, because that is the end of World Eater's turn 1, and it was much more successful than my turn, completely wiping out a Dreadnought, destroying the Land Raider over there, and pinning Soul Tarvitz' unit. That's nasty. There's going to be some counter charges on this flank as well, however. So the Emperor's children need to dig in deep. The battle for the Avenue of Martyrs is heating up as we go on to Emperor's Children, turn 2. Here we are after Loyalists movement phase, setting up a number of counter charges here. The unit that got blown out of the Rhino want to charge into this Legion Assault Squad along with the veterans, which means the Leviathan could potentially countercharge my countercharge. I don't know whether to put las cannons into the Leviathan yet, because I've got all the shots into the Leviathan or all the shots into that Land Raider, and that Land Raider still got another team inside it. I've got 2 full units of Rampagers pressing my lines here and here, and only a couple of units to deal with them because my Palatine Blades are pinned. I'm not bitter, it happens.
This is the thing, isn't it? It's things just die. Everything dies, everything explodes, everything goes wrong.
Heresy is brutal.
It is really
and
savage.
Stuff happens to you that you cannot control, and I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's what war is like. Do you mind if I pivot my Land Raider a little bit? He only moved about 4 inches. So I come around there to try and get some shots into Khan. Because the unit of Phoenix Terminators got out, and they want to go wheeling in there, but you've got 2 wounds each, and their spears are strength 6, not double your toughness. So I'm not sure how that fight's going to go, but we have to try and at least tie up Khan, and try and tie up this Rampager squad down here with the remaining Dreadnought. So let's shoot some guns. So the Dreadnought is going to shoot 2 multi-melters into you. One of them hits, one of them wounds. Next, the Tactical Marines firing all the bolt guns in, hitting on 3s, trying to wound the Rampagers on 4s. 11 wounds come through, tanking on the Artificer. 2-up saves, 2-up saves. He's on a wound. Please roll another one. No. Yeah, he's dead.
He's out of there.
Right, so all the rest are 3-up saves. And I managed to kill the Sergeant and injure one more. The Rhino fired in as well, but the armor save was made. Where to go to next? This squad, you can't fire bolt guns in charge, but you can fire pistols in charge. So let's do that. And the pistols hit on 3s and wound on 4s. 2 wounds. Artificer saves. He's alive. On to the vet squad. The veterans are relentless, so they can fire their bolt guns and charge as well. 4s to wound. 7 saves. So Artificer. He's passing them all. Don't roll a 1. You haven't rolled a 1. You don't take any wounds. What are we doing?
We're doing my advanced reaction.
Okay, once per battle, when you get shot at, you can charge me. You. So it stops the vets charging in at initiative 5. Let's see if you make the charge. That's a 6. You definitely make the charge. So the Emperor's Children try and get the drop on the Legion Assault Squad, and instead, World Eaters do what World Eaters do, bite down on their mouth guards and just go charging in. Okay, we're on to Land Raider, putting everything into Khan's squad.
Yep.
Because I'm terrified of Khan. Here's the multi-motor and the twin-link las cannon, because they hit and they wound the same. Is that a hit? Did I get? They're both hit. And then the Gravis ones, which are not twin-linked, these will all wound on 2s, and you get 5 up cover save because there's lots and lots of stuff in between me and you. But I do wipe out 4 of them. Okay, last thing left to fire is the las cannon team, firing everything down into that Land Raider there. Hitting on 2s. And I need 5s to glance, 6s to pen. But we have Sunder, which is good because only 1 glance he hit so far. Oh dear, 1 glance and 1 pen. You do have cover. A 6 up on the glance and a 6 up on the pen. Here's the glance. It gets through. Here's the pen. Gets through. You can shroud. No, you have done.
Well, also, I can't shroud against night vision.
So does it blow it up on a 6? It doesn't blow it up. It just shakes it. And with the reinforced hull of the Land Raider, they ignore that result anyway. So it drops down to 2 hull points remaining. And that is the end of my shooting attack. Khan's unit down here needs to make a leadership 10 thing because they suffered 25% casualties in the shooting phase. And he doesn't fall back. He stands firm. And then we're going to charge. Tactical squad, trying to charge in to these guys over here. That's a 7. We'll make the combat. The tactical squad go charging in to try and support their veteran brothers. Over here, my Terminator, Phoenix Terminator squad are going to try and charge through into Khan, who's he's only got 3 buddies left with him. But I am in a ruin, so if I roll a 3, this is a fail. That's not a 3. And at the end of the charge phase, it looks like this. Then the last charge I need to make is over here with the Contempted Dreadnought into the last Rampager squad. And he makes the charge as well. Now we'll fight. We'll start here. The camera is here. I'm initiative 5 on the charge. And your weapon skill 5 versus 5. So I'm hitting you on 4s with my dual fists. And he hits once. And he doesn't even wound. We'll continue with this fight here. There's only 4 Rampagers that can actually fight. One's got a Meteoric Hammer, which will hit on 4s.
Yep.
And this actually happens at the same initiative. And you need a 5 to wound, but I think it breaches on a 5. Doesn't breach. No. One has got Phalanx Blades. He'll hit on a 4. And he hits twice. And this rends on a 4, so it goes through the armor. No. Doesn't rend. And there's a couple of guys in there with something else.
The Eviscerated Chain Axes, the big 2-handed Chain Axes.
Okay, so 4 attacks with them. And they hit on 4s. And a breaching 5+, so you need 5s to get through. And that combat is a draw. The Dreadnought and the, well, we're all locked up, okay? We're going across to here. Now, Khan is initiative 5, but Emperor's Children are initiative 5 on the charge. And all those spears have reach, which gets me to initiative 6. So let's pile in and fight first. They pile in. They raise their Phoenix spears, hitting on 4s. And at strength 6, I wound on 2s, but 6s are murderous strike, instant death. So that kills 1, another, the 3rd guy, and then Khan has to take a wound of a 2 up. And Khan lives, and he stood on his own, facing all these Phoenix Terminators. But he's got Rampage or Rage. He gets an extra 3 attacks if he's outnumbered. He's in his happy place. So Khan, fighting the Terminators. He's got 7 attacks. He's Khan, so he hits on 3s. And he wounds on 3s. With Shred, so you get to re-roll.
Yeah, that's in.
Yeah, that's in. Those aren't in. So that is 4 wounds, and those are rending. That isn't.
Yep.
So 3 invulnerable saves, and then 1 2-up save. So he kills a Terminator. So at the end of that combat, Khan is surrounded by some Phoenix Terminators, and it's a combat that he lost by 4. So leadership 10 minus 4 is a 6-inch leadership for him to hang in there. He doesn't want to hang in there. So now we need an initiative, a roll-off, which is a dice roll plus your base initiative.
Yep.
So I have to beat you.
Yep.
He's initiative 5 anyway.
Here we go.
And you rolled a 7. So if I roll a 4, I sweep Khan. I cut him down. It's not the first time he gets injured on the battlefield of Isfahan 3. 50-50 chance to take Khan out of the equation. And Khan doesn't get taken out of the equation.
I couldn't see that dice.
He does manage to fall back successfully 2d6 inches. 7 inches back towards his lines. Maybe he overextended in the very first round of the battle. Khan takes a couple of steps back. The Terminators take a couple of steps forward. Only a couple though. It's dangerous out there. There's lots of World Eaters. Then we come round to this flank where my Legion Tactical Squad charged you. So they're at initiative 5. Here's all the normal Tactical Marines on 4s and 4s. 3-up saves. And I managed to take out 1. They've only got 1 wound each. Then the Sergeant strikes. And he's got a Power Claw. He hits on 4s and wounds on 4s with Shred. And that's 2. Only 2 taken out by the Tactical Squad. And this leaves this swirling melee looking like this, with 3 of the line assault infantry with their chain axes attacking this squad, and then all the other ones attacking that squad. The World Eaters still charged, however. Their blood is up, so they do get the additional attacks. We've got 12 attacks coming into my veteran squad here, hitting on 3s. Not veteran squad, the Legion squad hitting on 3s. And they wound on 3s. But chain axes shred, so you can re-roll any failed wounds. Not that you make any failed wounds. It's 7 wounds that come through. I think I'm going to start tanking. You did Artificer. I might as well Artificer up, because your guy's dead. So 2 up, 2 up, 2 up. He's dead, and so the rest are 3s. So I'll lose 2, including my Sergeant. Next up, there'll be 52 chain axe attacks going into my veteran squad at the same time the veterans fight back. But you are hitting on 5s. Because I am veterans.
You are. Here we go.
Okay, about a third came through. Wounding on 3s with the Shreddy Shred.
Is it just 1?
It's just 1. What happened there?
No, it's still just 1.
Brilliant. I like your dice. Do you sell them as well?
I do sell my dice.
At marchofwar.co.uk.
They are on marchofwar.co.uk.
Where you also sell all this lovely scenery and all the lovely bases and things, and these walls and the statue.
And your command point tokens and your mission.
Oh yeah. Not even sure I've shown these on YouTube yet, but yeah, the new Winters SEO command point tokens from marchofwar.co.uk. How many saves have I got to make? 12. 3-up saves. Veterans have 2 wounds each though, so you only wipe out 2. Let's fight back. Hitting on 3s. These are all the lightning claws.
Okay.
2 lightning claws. These will murder that squad on 4s because it's AP3 with shred. So no saves. Only 3 so far. I managed to convert it into 9 dead.
Wow.
Now Charnable blades on 3s. Charnable weapons. They're not really power weapons. They're precision weapons. So they're only strength 4. But because they're precision weapons on 5s, they go straight through your armor.
Oh dear.
They breach. So you've got 2 3-up saves and 6 more are dead before my Sergeant even gets to fight. 6 more are dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 1 left. And now the Sergeant hits you with a hammer.
Down.
And he hits you 3 times, and the Thunder Hammer puts 8 wounds on him. And I managed to clear the squad. Beneath this crumbling ruin at the head of the Avenue of Martyrs, something goes right for the Emperor's children. I managed to dig my way through that Legion assault squad. Down the street, however, there's a Leviathan poking his way, about to run straight across it. And there is a Legion squad inside that Rhino over here, but they're only tacticals. So on this side of the battlefield, I'm looking a little bit strong. As we make our way down, Khan is going to have to regroup and find another squad of Berserkers to go flying into, because he went forward and slaughtered a Dreadnought and then got jumped on by the Terminators. Talking about squads that he could regroup with, there is still a squad inside the Land Raider with a Rampager squad and an Apothecary. This fight over here between the Dreadnought and the Rampagers is ongoing as well, and next turn, Soul Tarvitz will not be pinned. We're a long way from over as we go on to World Eaters, turn 2. Here we are after the World Eaters phase in turn 2, and the Rhino with a tactical squad on this flank saw what happened to the Legion Assault Squad and has decided to bust through the terrain and come around this way. The World Eaters have got a lot more pressure down this side of the battlefield because the Land Raider is here and the Dreadnought is here, both looking at the Terminator squad, and the Predator is eyeing up the Terminator squad as well, along with the second Land Raider. There might not be any Terminators left. If there are some Terminators left, then the Leviathan Dreadnought might want to go charging in, or the second unit, or the third unit, in fact. This is the third unit of Rampages, with the Praetor stood right at the front. Again, though, if there are no Terminators left, the squad could turn around and clear out my second Contemptor Dreadnought, which means I'll have a unit of Tactical Marines over here and the Palatine Blades, which will be able to respond in the next turn. And, of course, the Las Cannon team are remaining untouched for now, but the World Eaters continuing with their pressure, continuing to push forward across the Avenue of Martyrs. Then in the centre, Khan has regrouped, which means he won't be able to charge. He just stood there shaking out the pain from the butcher's nails as the army moves around him. So we're starting off the shooting phase with the Predator over here, putting all 4 las cannons into my Terminators, which will hit them on 3s. And only 2 hit. It'll wound on 2s. And these shots will insta-kill if I fail an invulnerable save and only 1 gets through. You do kill 1. I'm not going to shroud that because there's a lot more shots coming in and you might kill more than 1. The Leviathan's got them in a crossfire, however, firing in with his 2 melt guns, which hit on 2s. And only 1 of those hits wounds on a 4. It does wound. 5+ invulnerable save 1 more time. And another 1 falls. Third vehicle firing in at them, the Land Raider. 2 las cannons hit on 3s and 1 las cannon hits on a 3, but it's twin linked. They all hit. 2s to wound with this. And this time 2 wounds come through, 2 5+ invulnerable saves. And I'll shroud this one, so I need 5s to keep them alive. And I shroud it.
Lovely.
The Land Raider doesn't take any casualties at all as they duck and cover. Second Land Raider now. This Monsoon is hitting the side of the Land Raider. The other gun's hitting the Terminator. So this is the shots into the Land Raider.
Yep.
Hitting on 3s. They both hit. You need 5s to glance, 6s to pen. With Sunder. That's a glance so far. That's 1 glance. I have a 6-up cover save. And I don't think you've got very much more shooting going on. So I might as well shroud it. I don't shroud it. And then 3 shots coming into Terminators. Because you can only shroud Terminators 1 unit once, for example. Yeah. So despite how many hits you get in with a Land Raider this way around, I won't be able to shroud. So 2 Gravis las cannons on the side. Both of them miss. Thank the Emperor. And the twin link one, that hits. Can it wound? It can wound. Can I make a 5-up save? Emperor, hear my prayer. Not prayer, but he did hear my prayer.
Made it.
No more of the Terminators fall. So that's the end of the shooting phase. Just a couple of Terminators dying.
That's pretty good.
The Leviathan would need an 11-inch charge, but it's a 9 because of Berserk Fury. Your World Eaters, a Rite of War. And that's a 6. He fails the charge, which is an 8-inch charge because you add the 2. Halved is a 4-inch surge. After surging forward, the Leviathan ends up there. Now we're on to the Rampager squad, which is a 6-inch charge in total with the terrain and the pluses and the minuses. And that's a 7. They make the charge. After piling in, the Rampagers end here. You're all at initiative 5 because you've got meteoric hammers, balls on chains with reach +1. I have reach +1 as well. So we're all initiative 5. So this all happens at the same time. But let's start with the Praetor. who's got 7 attacks on the charge with a pair of mastercrafted thing. You can re-roll the 1 because you mastercrafted it. Paragon blades. Everything hits. It's a wound on 3s. And that's nasty. It's all AP2. And those are murderous strike. So here's the 3 that don't insta-kill me. And 1 is down to 1 wound. And then insta-kill. So 2 die. He wipes out 2. Leaving just 1 Terminator remaining before all the other Rampagers strike. And the squad gets absolutely annihilated, but I do get a strike back at the same time, which will hit on 3s and wound on 2s. And they're all AP3, so that goes all through your armour, but you do have an apothecary in that, so you have 3, feel no pains. And I kill 1 back again, and 1 takes a wound. The Rampagers consolidate just like Khan. The only way is forward, and we have 1 more ongoing combat on this battle grid between the Dreadnought and the Rampagers. It all strikes at the same time, unless you've got any balls and chains.
I've got 1 meteoric hammer at the front.
Meteorura. Which will hit on a 4.
It's 2 attacks hitting on 4s.
Yeah, so one of them hits, and it wounds on a 3. Which wounds, but I get a save because it breaches R5. So that happened at initiative 5. Now we strike each other at initiative 4. I'll do the Dreadnought. Last time I didn't kill any. This time I hit once and kill 1 of them. The Rampagers pile in. All but 1 can fight. And down there is the champion who gets to strike now. And he'll hit on 3s. And 4 of them hit. And he needs 6s to wound. But he re-rolls everything. And 6s are AP2. So that's 1 6, 1 5-up save. And the Dreadnought takes a wound. Now here's the machetes, the phalanx blades. Hitting on 4s. Ooh. And that's 5 1s. Your dice have betrayed you. You need 4s to rend. That's a rend. 5 up. I fail the save. Down to 4 wounds. Then there's a couple of massive chain axes in there, the X-Orator chain axes. These will hit on 4s. And at strength 6, you'll wound on 5s, but you have shred, so you can re-roll, forcing 1 save, which is a murderous strike causing instant death. So I need to make a 5-up and vulnerable save, which I do. Yes. Otherwise I do instant death on the Dreadnought, which can't kill it, but what it does is does D3 wounds instead of 1. And at the end of that combat, I lost 2 wounds, you lost 2 wounds.
So it's a draw. So
that's a draw. So no morale there to take.
Each other.
So at the end of World Eater's turn 2, you've slaughtered my unit of Terminators. I had to send them in to deal with Khan, and I haven't dealt with Khan. He's just taken a couple of steps back, and next turn he'll be free to fight. But I have got some Palatine Blades, which can come spinning around the corner. But the thing is, the Palatine Blades go flying into your Predator squad, right? Who deals with the Dreadnought? I guess the Sun Fury Lascannon team need to do some work this turn. So far it's been a fast battle. It's been a brutal battle with massive casualties on either side. As we go on to Emperor's Children, turn 3. Down at the end of the Avenue of Martyrs, things are quiet. And my veteran squad and the Legion Tactical Marines are just running to shatter strike behind the enemy lines. And perhaps cover to cover, ducking and covering each other, overlapping fields of fire. In the centre, my MT Land Raider moves around to get shots in at your Land Raider. And back down here, finally, Soltavitz recovers with the Palatine Blades after getting blown out of that Land Raider. And they mean to go charging in to the second squad, which just leaves Khan to deal with, and the Leviathan Dreadnought.
Just the Leviathan Dreadnought.
Yeah, and the Leviathan and Khan can wipe out whole units on their own. I have got the Sun Fury team up here, though, the Lascannon Devastators, that do want to shoot down into this Predator over here, because there is a unit of Tactical Marines making a break for it. So I need the Predator to die so I can scoot on past, because they got back in. The Predators come round this way. The Land Raider, Predator, Rhino. The Rhinos come round this way with the Tactical Marine in to try and get through and break on through to the other side. It relies on me killing the Predator, and it also relies on that Contemptor not dying. Because in the next round of combat, if you kill him, then you'll end up jumping on the Rhino.
Of course. So
down here, a bit of a gamble. In the middle, bit of a gamble. Up the top end, I'm okay. I'm chilling.
Objective secure.
But we're going to fire in 9 las cannons because there's 9 that can see down in at the Predator. And I hit on 2s. And on the front armour, I need 4s. And I sunder.
Here we go. 3 pens.
Yep. On 6s, you shroud one of them. Sorry, it's 6 up cover.
Yep.
And then the glances. So it is wrecked. It does go through. You can't shroud because I have night vision. And you can't shroud night vision. Does it blow? It doesn't blow up. The Predator is a wreck. Well, that's part 1 of the plan anyway. In the middle, the squad of Palatine Blades whips out all their pistols because one's on a wound. So maybe I can kill one. If I can wound on 4s. I wound 3 times. 1 3-up save.
1 3-up save.
Yes. And keep going. And he's dead. And then Artificer it. That's the way to do it.
That's the one.
So only the injured guy falls over. That's it for the shooting phase, except for Land Raider on Land Raider action. So let's do this. The multi-melter is in range this time, and it hits. And by range, it's 24 inches. What I mean, within 12, you have Armor Bane.
Yeah.
So 2d6, add it together, looking for more than 6. That is more than 6. You can shroud. You haven't done any shrouding yet.
I will shroud.
You need a 5 as you pop smoke. Try to evade. You don't evade. AP 1. So +2 to this dice roll. And a 4 +2 is 6 is immobilized. I haven't blown it open yet. Maybe the las cannons can. These are the side sponsoons which are not twin linked. And then the one in the nose which is twin linked. So 4 hit. 5s to glance. With sunder. So you've got 2 glances and a pen to shroud.
2 glances.
And the pen?
Okay.
Okay, so it's on 1 hull point remaining unless I blow it up on a 6. And that's a 3. That is weapon destroyed. So the Land Raider's on 1 hull point remaining and the gun in the nose is gone. Apart from that, it can still fire at full effect. That is the end of the shooting phase. So now we're going to do some charges.
Where are we going first?
My Palatine Blade squad and I go charging in to the Rampages. And that's a 5-inch charge. You can either Overwatch or make it disordered if you want to, because it is the only charge of the game.
I'll do the disordered one because I can't. I've got no guns.
Yeah, you need to pass leadership test of 10, which you do because there's a Praetor in there, which means I don't get the +1 attack on the charge, but I am at initiative 5.
Yeah.
So Tarvitz will declare a challenge because he's up to initiative 8. So despite having a unit of chosen warriors, every single one of those could accept this challenge. Who have you accepted with?
The Praetor, obviously. Look at him. He's coming through your guys to get to him. He was having a piece of Soul Tarvitz.
Why'd you put dead Emperor's children on this base?
It's like I knew I was playing against you or something.
Right, okay.
It's actually from the last time I played against you, but yeah, that's fine.
Right, well, Soul Tarvitz would have 4 attacks on the charge, up to 5, but down to 4 because you made my charge disordered. And weapon skill, 1 minute. Same weapon skill. I'm hitting on 4s and it's master crafted. He's strength 6, so wounding on 2s, but that rends. So a 2-up save and a 4-up save on your Praetor.
2-up save. It's a 6.
He's okay.
And then 4-up save.
He's okay. He takes no wounds. Do you want to fight back with him? Let's fight back with him.
Do it.
Your Praetor strikes on 4s with 2 mastercrafted Paragon blades. Well, one of them's mastercrafted. You can reroll a hit. Mastercrafted, everything. 4 of them hits.
6s.
Strength 5, toughness 4, wounds on 3s. AP 2, and that's the 6, which is Murderous Strike. So 2 non-instant deaths on 4s. I should have done it the other way around because I passed both of them. He needs a 4, or you instant death, Soul Tarvitz. And that's a 3. I've lost my Warlord. He gets dragged back by the Palatine Blades, probably shoved into the hull of this crippled Land Raider. Because he does return. He doesn't die at that point.
He's not dead!
He's just removed as a casualty. It's fine. Right, all the rest of my guys are initiative 5. Do you have any initiative 5 ball and chains in there?
All of them.
All of them?
All of them.
So this is going to all happen at the same time. Okay, I'll do my lot first. Both weapon skill 5 versus 5. So I'm hitting you on 4s. And wounding on 4s with the normal charnable blades. They breach on 5s. And then there's the 3 guys with the 2-handed weapons, which hit on 4s. And these wound on 3s, but also breach on 5s. Okay, so 2 armor saves and 6 saves that go straight through. 2 armor saves. Okay, in the end you lose 3 guys in total. Okay, here's all the meteor hammers at the same time, forced to hit. And they wound on 2s, but on 5s they breach and ignore armor. So one of my guys die, and I've got 3 2-up saves because Palatine Blades all have Artificer. So only 1 falls over.
Have an apothecary!
Apothecary, we need to do the apothecaries to feel no pains. And you put 1 guy back in. And at the end of that massive combat, it is a draw, so no morale to take. But the Palatine Blades are softened up perfectly for Khan to come charging back in next turn, or the Leviathan. We have got 1 more ongoing combat, though. This Rampager squad that charged my Dreadnought. My Dreadnought hasn't killed any yet, or like 1. It killed 1 so far.
Killed 1, didn't it? So have I got 1 meteoric hammer in there first to strike?
Well, yes. You've also got your Praetor.
Oh, Praetor and the meteoric.
Your champion.
Yeah.
I'll do my Dreadnought first. Forced to hit you. I hit you 3 times this time. Can I roll anything but once? I can. I will wipe out 3 of them. Praetor hits back on 3s, and that is 3 hits. He'll need 6s to wound with Shred. And that's 1 so far. Shredding it up. That's just 1 so far. 5+ in Vun. I make it. And there is a Meteor Hammer in this squad.
2 attacks. Hit on 4s.
It hits both of the times. 5s to wound, but they breach.
Nope.
No. Okay. Now 2 machetes going in. Phalanx Blades on 4s. Looking to wound on 5s. Oh, sorry.
4s.
Rending 4+. 2 come through. The Dreadnought takes a wound. Then a great big chain axe on 4s. And then you need 5s to wound. And it doesn't wound. So at the end of that, I lost a wound, you lost a chunk, but you are stubborn. And there is a champion in there.
Yep.
So leadership 9, stubborn. Because if
That
you
was
had
close,
failed
wasn't
that,
it?
I could have overrun you. That is the end of Emperor's Children, turn 3. This fight continues, and I gambled at trying to shoot the Predator and sneak past with one of the Rhinos, breaking on through the World Eater's lines, and so far that gamble has played off. You have not destroyed the Contemptor. In the middle, though, there's a lot of pain about to descend on the Palatine Blade squad, while some units of Emperor's Children try and sneak round the outside as we go on to World Eater's turn 3. In the World Eater's movement phase, the Rhino that started on this end of the Avenue of Martyrs has continued to bust through terrain and has appeared here behind Khan and behind the Leviathan Dreadnought, because Khan is going to take on that Sun Fury squad on his own. I can't Overwatch against Khan.
No.
So if he makes the charge, he can probably slaughter a squad of 10 all on his own easily. If he doesn't make the charge, I'm going to shoot him with lots of las cannons next turn.
Just like fighting stuff.
And the charge isn't that long. You've got to get from where he is down there. It's normally -2 going through terrain, but +2 because it's just going to be a dice roll. I think you need a 7 or an 8. The Leviathan has got a juicy target. The Palatine Blades are locked up with these rampages here, so the Leviathan wants to break that siege. And then around here, you've pivoted and moved the second Land Raider around so it can shoot at the Rhino, which is trying to make a break for it. And that's where we're going to start the shooting phase. You've got 3 las cannons and one of them's twin-linked, so hitting on 3s.
Hit on 3s.
Both of them hit. Here's the twin-linked.
Doesn't hit. Twin-linked.
It all hits. You know twin-linked in Heresy, when it goes to 10th edition, there's reroll wounds in 10th.
Yeah, which is just...
Why didn't they just make it reroll hits? So it's the same in both games.
There's arguments for, yes, it makes sense either way. There's 2 shots that have hit you and now they're going to wound you better, or there's 2 shots so there's a better chance of hitting. But why make it different?
Why not call it Shred? Because Shred is reroll wounds.
Yeah.
It's just, okay.
Awesome.
Right, 2s to glance the side of a Rhino, you're a las cannon. And you've got Sunder, so you can reroll that. And that's 3 penetrating hits. Right, you can see the side armour. I need 6s. And then I need to Shroud on 5s. And I Shroud one of them. 2 of the pens go through. What do the 2 pens do? 6s will blow up the Rhino. You don't blow it up, but you do weapon destroy it and shake it, which means it's snap firing and on 1 hull point remaining. But it still will be able to move in my turn.
Still mobile.
Moving to the middle of the battle grid, Khan remembers he has a plasma pistol. Pulls it out, screams, pulls the trigger, hits on 2s. And it hits. We'll wound on a 2. And that wounds a 3 up. On a 4, it would have breached and gone straight through the armour, but we're okay. And I think the last thing left to fire is the Rhino and the Land Raider.
Yeah.
Rhino fired up at the Devastator squad as well, causing no wounds. Now the last thing left to fire is this Land Raider. 2 shots into my Land Raider. 2 shots up at the Sun Fury team, because it's all you can see.
Onto the Land Raider first.
Yes.
Let's go.
Both of them hit.
5s.
5s. With Sunder, I've already shrouded. You can see all the front armour. I don't get a save. So what does that penetrating hit do?
Penetrating hit first.
Is a 4. That weapon destroys it. I'm going to take off my central thing as well. I'm on 2 hull points remaining. Then 2 las cannons come up at the Sun Fury team, which hit on 3s. And wound on 2s, because they're las cannons, and they don't wound. And I can't... I'd love to return fire, because I normally have 2 reactions in the shooting phase, but now Sol Tarvitz is gone. That bonus is removed. So that's the end of the shooting phase. We're on to the charge phase. The Leviathan couldn't fail and charged into the Palatine squad, but now it's Khan. He needs a 7-inch charge to engage the las cannons, or they're going to turn around and shoot him in the head.
He's going to get
no
smushed if he
rerolls,
doesn't make this.
no nothing.
Oh! No!
And that's a 5. Khan surges through the building, the butcher's now singing. The way I like to think of it is the guys are firing Overwatch at him, but it's Khan charging towards you, so they're a little bit more nervous. Just fire every single direction. Okay. Well,
everything!
At the end of the charge phase, Leviathans have Hammer of Wrath. These are impact hits that happen at initiative step 10, and they're wound on 2s. And how much you get? 2. And he runs into 2 of them. They are strength 8, so if I fail an armor save, they're automatic strength hits. Like bam!
Got you.
Yeah, so if I fail a 2 up, you crush one. You crush one, you run one over. One gets stomped on. Now we're on to the Praetor, who's got 5 attacks, and he's going to hit on 2s. 3s. He's weapon skill 6. This is the Mastercrafted one, so you've got your reroll.
One of those.
Drop dice don't
Not
count.
that one. Or that one. Shall I roll one on the table, shall I?
Keep hitting the floor. Yeah.
It's not even
roll
funny.
it that way. That was hilarious. That was funny. 3s to wound. No saves. Okay, so that kills 1.5. No instant deaths, though, because on 6s it would have really hurt. And then all your guys have got reach 1.
Yes.
So they're initiative 5 as well, swinging their hammers around. And these are going to hit on 3s. And these wound on 2s, but they breach. Ignore armor on 5s. 2 normal 2-up saves. 1 more dies to the breaching attack. 1 takes a wound. Now we're at initiative 4. Yep. You do your apothecary if you want to.
Yeah. So he's on 2 attacks plus 1 for his chain axe.
Yes, and he'll hit on 5s actually, because he's just an attachment. So that's 2 hits. And he wounds on 4s with shred. So you can re-roll the 3. 2 wounds come through. 2 top saves. I'm okay. So you kill 3 and a bit. Now I get to fight back. 1 minute. Because we're at initiative 4 and we started with you, we'll do the Leviathan. He's at initiative 4. You've got 2 close combat weapons.
2 close combat weapons.
6 attacks on the charge.
Double world eaters, all the crazy. He's filthy.
Yeah. Oh no, he gets an extra attack. He's world eaters because they're 5 attacks base, 7 attacks on the charge. Forced to hit though.
5 base.
Yeah, with 2 close combat weapons.
Sorry. I thought you meant each 5 base to start. I was going to say, well, that's 5 plus close combat weapons plus charges. No, he's 5 with the close combat weapons. Yeah.
Forced to hit.
Oh, you worried me then, mate.
That's a lot of hits.
That's all the
That's 5 hits. And he's strength 10, AP 2. 2s will kill. He wipes out 4 of them on his own. Ouchie. Right, before my squad gets wiped out, I try and kill as many rampages as I can. These are the standard Charnable Blades, which will wound on 4s and 5s breach. A couple of attacks with the 2... Oh, Sergeant's got a 2-handed weapon as well. So these hit on 4s, and these are wound on 3s, but 5s breach. Okay, so those are 3-up saves. Those go straight through. 3 ups, and then 3 feel no pains, because you've got an apothecary in there.
Feel no pains.
Nope. So I do 3 wounds to you. You do a bajillion to me. So there's 2 Emperor's Children remaining there. I need to make a Snake Eyes leadership test. I fail. And then it's initiative roll-off. Now, you've got initiative 5, I've got initiative 4. So yes. I'll do mine first. So I get a 10. But if you get a 6, you'll sweep them. Oh, you don't sweep them. So they do manage to fall back successfully 5 inches. But I don't think that will help them very much. I mean, there's only 2 of them. So the Palatine Blades fall back in this direction, getting chased down from the Praetor. Which direction is the Leviathan going?
Leviathan turned and went towards the to follow Khan.
Right. So if I shoot Khan, I've got a Leviathan problem, and if I shoot the Leviathan, I've got a Khan problem.
That's pretty much the flavour of it, yeah.
Either of those problems are problems you do not want to have.
It's world-eater problems, man.
We still have one more combat to go, though. This Dreadnought.
Oh, the
ongoing combat between the Rampages and my Dreadnought, which will hit you on 4s. I hit 3 times. I will kill on 2s. Ooh, I killed 3 of them. But, oh yeah, I forgot, because that was initiative 4. You've got a Praetor and a hammer thing swinging at initiative 5. The champion hits on 3s with his lightning claws. This time he hits... He's always hitting 3 times. No hasn't wounded yet, though. No. 6s. We're shredding, re-rolling everything.
Come on.
He does a wound. 5 up and bund. I make the save. Then you got your swingy hammer at initiative 5.
Hammer.
Which misses. And then you've got your initiative, your 9 attacks with the guys with the 2 choppy things.
Yes.
Because this is at the same initiative.
Oh, same time you do yours, isn't it?
Yes. So taking the unwieldy guy away.
Yep.
So 6 more attacks then with the machetes, the phalanx blades. On 4s, everything hit. Interesting. 4s rend with these guys. And I'm on 3 wounds, Lorraine.
Do we feel lucky?
3 5 up and vulnerable saves. I make 2 of them. And at the end of the combat, it looks like this. Just the champion and 1 last rampager going toe-to-toe with my Dreadnought. Leadership 9, stubborn. So that's a 10. You fail.
Oh,
okay.
They're about to get smushed.
Well, I've rolled a 7 on my initiative. You've rolled a 10 on your initiative. You do successfully manage to fall back 2d6 inches, 10 inches. That fight against the Dreadnought was not successful. And that frees the Dreadnought to turn around and deal with the Rampager squad, which is closing in on my lines. And that is the end of World Eater's turn 3. It looks like the Palatine Blades are not long for this world, and neither Khan or the Leviathan. But then you'll break the castle at the back, and then you'll have units all in my deployment zone. But I'm trying to get some units in the deployment zone on the right and left flank with my infantry. So basically, almost everything in the middle has died. While the troops...
It's been a definite murder box.
Yeah, while the
really,
troops try
really
and...
has.
Yeah, it's the kill box that the World Eaters set up, and they've done a lot of killing.
And a lot of dying.
As we go to Emperor's Children, turn 4. In the movement phase, the troops on this side of the battlefield, backed up by the veterans, are running down to try and break through the World Eaters' lines. And on the other side of the battle grid, this shaken rhino rattles on forward on 1 hull point remaining. Meanwhile, down in the middle, my Dreadnought, which wants to charge in at the Rampagers, fires his 2 melters at point blank range and hits both of the times and wounds once. 1 is behind a barricade for a 5 up save, because I'm taking it that you probably want to save the shroud for Khan.
Yeah.
Mind you, can't shroud, because there's loads of las cannons.
And they've got the night fighting thing. But I've got the apothecary as well for a 6 up shrug.
You don't get a shrug.
Don't get shrug against melters.
Because it's it's instant death.
Right,
yeah. So you can shroud it if you want to. Otherwise, it's going to be shots into...
No, that's cool.
Right, las cannons. I had a good look. The ones at the back can't actually see Khan. There's only 4 that can see him.
Right.
So I'm saying there's a chance.
That he's going to melt.
2's to hit him. I hit him 5 times. 2's to wound Khan. I wound him. You need to make every single 4+ Iron Halo save. That's 5. Or Khan gets cut down for las cannons. Good luck.
You're making me worried now.
Oh, no. You just failed by 1. Command point?
Don't do... I was just like, yes, command. No.
He nearly made it in. But in the end, they managed to keep their fingers on the trigger and hose him down. For now, there's a Leviathan about to punch them in a second anyway. Right, we're going to move on to Land Raider, shooting your Land Raider with everything. Here's the multi-melter, which is in melter range. And you can shroud that, otherwise it's dead, because there's more las cannons coming in a second. 5 up.
1 or 2.
Just one for the melter. No. So it's dead. Does it blow? It doesn't blow. It just turns into a wreck. Unless the las cannons can kill it.
Can I return fire for my action? No, I shrouded.
Yeah, with vehicles returning fire, you can only do it with defensive weapons of strength 6 or less, you see. But I'm just trying to see if I... So that's... You need to shroud another pen, because the Land Raider might blow. You don't, on a 6. It doesn't blow. The Land Raider is just a wreck. I wanted to find out because it could hurt that Rhino, which has still got a unit of troops in, ready to come charging through next turn. Anyway, let's charge. There is only one charge. It is the Dreadnought against the Rampagers. Try to make the charge disordered on a 10 or less. You do make it disordered, so he's only down to 4 attacks. And the Dreadnought will fight at the same time as your Initiative 5 stuff. And it will hit you on 4s and kill Rampagers on 2s, and I wipe out 2 of them. While I'm here, I just remembered I need to regroup my unit of Palatine Blades, and they regroup, so they're staying there. But you get to fight at the same time. Here's the hammers hitting on 4s, and you need 5s to wound, but it breaches on 5s. Okay, there's a breach. The Dreadnought's on 2 wounds remaining. Then your Praetor strikes out with his 5 attacks. And he's going to hit on 3s. He is a Praetor. And it's Mastercrafted, re-rolling a hit. 1. But Strength 5 versus Toughness 7, you need 6s. And you get a 6. And that is a Murderous Strike, which will be D3 damage on my 2 wounds remaining if I fail a 5-up automatic shielding save. I fail a 5-up automatic shielding save so on a 3+.
2 wounds left.
Yes. You will kill the Dreadnought.
Here we go.
You don't.
Oh, he's still alive.
It's on 1 wound remaining. 1 minute there's an apothecary. He can do it with a chainsword maybe.
He's totally going to do it.
5s. He hits twice. 6s to wound with shred. Nothing.
Shred is reroll.
No. Right, I killed 2 of your guys. You killed 2 wounds on me.
Yeah.
Versus 4. I won that combat, but your leadership 10 stubborn with your Praetor. I want to sweep another unit. Please fail. You don't fail. Good. The Rampagers are angry and they hang in there. So, there is an Apothecary, 1 Rampager, and your Praetor, locking up my Contempt to Dreadnought. As we're about to go into World Eater's turn at 4. You've got a dead Land Raider over there. This one's still got 2 guns at least. The Leviathan is still hungry for blood. And there is a unit of Tactical Marines in that Rhino there. So let's find out what the World Eaters do in turn 4. In the World Eaters movement phase, the Leviathan comes charging down towards the building, straight towards the devastated team. And a tactical squad in a Rhino are following in his wake, which sounds perfect to me.
Yeah, he's just gone through the wall and the Rhino's driving through the gap behind it.
If you want anything in front of you, it wants to be a Leviathan with 2 fists in its hand. Over here, you're locked up in combat. The Rhino move round, and the last 2 remaining Rampagers down here have managed to regroup, so they can't charge. Well, I say 2. There's the Champion and 1 Rampager left.
Yeah, there is.
The Land Raider wants to shoot my Rhino in the bum.
Yep, definitely.
So we're doing that now.
It's going to unload in the bum.
Okay.
So 2 shots.
Yes, hitting on 3s. They both hit, and the Twin Link one. Twin linked. Everything hits in the bum. Well, it's side armor, so 2's glance. And then Sunder. That's 2 penetrating hits so far. Okay, so a glance and the pens. Both of the pens get through at AP2. I'm waiting to shroud with the Sun Fury. And it just wrecks it. And the guys get out. Do they get pinned, though? They don't get pinned. They orderly disembark. After that shot, we come around here. You've got the Volkite chargers and the melter guns that you can fire in from the Leviathan. Now, I haven't shrouded. If you fire at them, I will return fire with 10 las cannons. Do you want to fire at them?
Don't now you've said that.
not only that, not only can I return fire at you if you shoot at me, then when you charge, then I can shoot you again.
Yeah,
Overwatch you.
So
that's 20 las cannons.
Yeah,
so do you want to shoot?
I'm good, thank you. I'm a world eater. We're like claws. We'll just run in and rip.
You going to charge?
I'm going to charge.
Right, Overwatch.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. Overwatch in Heresy, full ballistic skill is 2s with the Armister. You ready? 8 hits. I get 8 hits. Those are 2 1s. Leviathans have got 7 wounds. Strength 9, toughness 8, 3s to wound, and Sunder only kicks in against vehicles. So you get 6 5+ and vulnerable saves because he's not a vehicle. He's just a chonky boy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh. And that is 5 wounds. See, if you had shot it before you charged, I would have killed you with the Overwatch.
So that's left me on 2 wounds.
And then he goes charging in. He can't fail because you've got +2 to charge. You're a World Eater. So first, 3 impact hits. Wound on 2s. And they all wound. 3 up saves. He runs over one of them. And then he fights. 7 attacks on the charge. He's a World Eater hitting on 3s. That is 5 hits. He's going to kill him on 2s.
Come on, loads of 2s.
Yes. Okay, that's 5 more dead. So you killed 6. Can I hurt you back? Yeah, toughness 8. I'm strength 4.
Yeah.
Toughness is more than double my strength. I can't hurt you.
Can't get through.
Our weapons are useless. Which means I can automatically choose to fail the morale test, which I do.
Okay.
And then we try and sweep in advance, basically. Right. But my Armistos is initiative 5, so this might work. It does work. I do fall back. Oh dear. That's a bit too close to the edge of the table. That is too close to the edge of the battle grid. The whole unit falls back and leaves the battle grid. The Leviathan takes them out on his own. Of course he does. And then turns round towards where these 2 Palatine blades are being very, very quiet down here. Because right now we have a fight between your Praetor and my Dreadnought.
Oh, yeah.
Praetor hits on 3s. Master crafted. And this time he hits 4 times. He needs 6s to wound. And he doesn't get through. You've got one guy swinging a mace around at initiative 5. And he misses.
He does.
He needs 4s to hit. So my Dreadnought and your Apothecary fight at the same time. Let's see if your Apothecary can do it. 3 attacks?
3 attacks.
5s? He hits once.
He's got 1.
6s to wound. With Shred? No. So no wounds come through on my Dreadnought. This could be painful.
Yeah.
The average weapon skill of that unit is still 5. So I hit you on 4s. I'm wounding on 2s. No feel, no pain to this. So what you can do if you want to is start tanking them on your Praetor or just take everyone away but your Praetor. But then your Praetor needs to take a leadership test because he'll be no longer stubborn at leadership 6.
Well, there's only 3 of them at the start of the thing, so he's only going to have lost 2, isn't he?
But they're 2 wounds each.
Oh, they're 2 wounds. Right.
So you'd have lost by 4. Do you want to risk a tank on your Invun or not?
I think that sounds like a fun idea. Let's do that.
But it will kill him. It will. It's strength 9. It's a terrible idea. Don't do it.
It's an awful idea, but is it a 4-up?
Yeah, it's a 50-50.
Just 1?
Well, you got 2.
2 to do.
But you can do 1 if you want
to.
it.
And then do 1 the other way. I'm going to roll 1. Let's see what happens. Sounds like a bad idea. He's dead.
It's a bad idea. He gets mushed. Leading the Rampager behind, because that's initiative 5, and he's stubborn.
Yep.
So leadership 8. Here we go. And he holds.
All right. He's still there.
You tie up my Contemptor 1 more time as we go on to Emperor's Children turn 5, and it could be the last turn of the game, and there's so little left. You've got your Rampager down there and your Leviathan and a unit of Tactical Marines nearby, plus a couple of guys over there, and that is a champion, and that is another Rampager, so I don't fancy my chances very much, but I've got to give it a go.
Got to go for it. You get the +1 initiative, so we'll all be fighting at once.
And then over here, I guess this unit will just dig deeper into cover. So at the end of the movement phase, I do dig deeper into cover down here. I've moved away from the Leviathan Dreadnought with my Palatine Blade Squad because I want to kill that Rampager. I'm doing nothing about the Rhino right now. There's nothing I can do about it. And then over here, I didn't move with this squad on purpose because then potentially you could have reacted, moved back.
Yeah.
And -2 because of the train. I might have failed the charge, and then you charge in and kill them all. So we'll start here, and I'll rapid fire you. Well, not rapid fire you, shoot you with loads of pistols. Which hit on 3s. And wound on 4s. 4 wounds came through, tanking them on the champion, who's got a 2-up save, and you pass, and you pass. He passes them all. Is that the end of my shooting attack? That is the end of my shooting attack.
Land Raider?
Is Land Raider? Land Raiders immobilised, and I don't think he... There's a Leviathan right there on 2 wounds remaining.
Yeah.
So this Sponsoon will shoot it in the back, and the Multi-Melter will shoot it in the back.
Dope!
Las Cannon hits and wounds, and the Multi-Melter hits. Needs a 4, but it's Armor Bane. Only 1 wound, you're going to survive. 5 up, invulnerable save. And it takes a wound. He's on 1 wound remaining. You can shroud that, seeing as that's the only other shot coming in. Or return fire. Oh, you shroud it. He's still on 2 wounds. There's no point in returning fire. You can only really glance the Land Raider. Okay, so that's the end of my shooting attack. The Palatine Blades will go in against your last Rampager. And over here, we're going to go in against that squad. And we will make the charge. Right, this could be a terrible idea.
No, it's a great idea.
I mean, you're an elite squad with a champion in, and this is just a tactical squad. Fine. I'm not going to challenge you. I perhaps should, actually, because then you can only kill my sergeant. Yeah, I'm going to challenge.
But the problem is I can accept it using either one of them. So
there's no point in challenging.
Just the guy with the ball and chain.
Okay, so I've got 9 basic attacks at initiative 5, which is the same time as your champion. Yeah. Is your ball and chain initiative 5 as well? Oh, so this is all happening at the same time. I'm hitting you on 5s. I do 2 wounds. And here's the sword, which hits once and wounds once. Putting them on the Rampager, so the AP3 from the sword cuts straight through, and then 2 3-up saves. And the Rampager survives on 1 wound remaining, and very angrily smashes back out at my unit. And he'll hit on 3s, and he hits both of the times, and he'll wound on 2s, and he wounds once, 3-up save. I make the save, so it all comes down to the champion with his 5 attacks, and he hits on 3s. And he hits 3 times. He'll wound on 4s, re-rolling everything for shred. Re-rolling. And he kills 2. So my leadership now is 6. Which I fail. And now we do an initiative roll-off. I get 8. You get 7. I do manage to fall back. Snake Eyes, which just softens me up, ready for you to charge me in your turn 5. So they come back this way. Then we're going over to the fight with the Dreadnought and the Rampager, who just got charged by the 2 remaining Palatine Blades. Where do you want to put your attacks?
I was just thinking, it's all right, I've got my Praetor. No, I've not got Praetor there. I've got 2 attacks.
You did the hero thing. You tried to tank on the Praetor. Yeah. I like that.
I like that as well.
Are you going to try and finish off that Dreadnought once and for all?
Yes, I'm going to try to take the Dreadnought.
Okay.
So we're hitting
4s to hit.
4s to hit. 1 hit.
5s to wound, which breaches.
No.
His arm is getting tired. He doesn't manage to wound. So I've got my sergeant on the charge. He'll hit your Rampager on 4s, and he'll wound on 3s, but that breaches. And then the other guy, he's got, loadout charge, yes. Hits on 4s, and he'll wound on 5s. And that kills the last Rampager. And that is the end of Emperor's Children turn 5. Now it could go on to turn 6. But currently as it stands, I've got 3 points up in that corner of the battlefield. I get 1 for killing the Warlord. You get 1 for killing the Warlord.
Yeah.
So it's 3 points to 0 right now. But your Leviathan's worth a point. The unit inside of there is worth 2 points.
Yeah.
And they can get out, which will make it 3 points each.
Yeah.
Plus Warlord 4 points each. And then we'll have to add up the total number of units killed.
Yeah.
Because he who kills more gets an extra point. Yeah. So right now it's a dead draw. But then it could go on to turn 6 on a 50-50.
Yeah.
So I've got no idea how this is going to end. The World Eaters have so few units left as we go into Heretics, turn 5. Here we are at the end of World Eaters turn 5, and down this end of the Avenue of Martyrs, it is very, very quiet. The Emperor's Children holding still down here. In the middle, however, The Rhino has handbrake turn through the ruin. This unit has got out, searching for bodies, searching for skulls for the skull throne. Or not there yet. It's just found 3.
No, we're only a bit mad. We're not
Only
completely
a bit bad.
mad yet.
The Leviathan can't charge out of this deployment zone, though, if it wants to get some points. But it has got 2 melter shots straight into those Palatine blades. And the Land Raider has pivoted round to shoot the Contemptor in the back.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, over here, the tactical squad, which are running away from your champion, are going to get caught as they fall back. So as I said, if you manage to pull this off, I think it's 4 points each. Then we're going to need to add up all the stuff that died. And in this turn, you could potentially kill 1, 2, 3 more units.
Yeah.
So if it's like I killed 8 and you killed 9, or something, this is going to be... You need to kill as many as you can.
Kill what we can.
Where would you like to start shooting
Let's
base?
start with the Land Raider into the back of the Dreadnought.
Okay. That's 3 las cannons. 1 of them is twin linked.
3 las cannons, 1 of them is twin linked. Yes, that's the word. 3 of them twin linked. Yes.
Both hit.
And the twin linked one.
All 3 hit. And 2s to wound.
Yep.
3 wounds. 3 5+ invulnerable saves. And do I shroud or return fire? Well, you're not in range to return. I can only do 1.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're not going to kill these.
The only thing that might watch it is when he explodes, he might take one out.
He might take
first.
one out. Well, they've got artificer armor. I think they're going to be okay.
So of course that's not.
Well, my gut says shroud. I'm going to shroud. And I shroud one of them, not the other one. The Contemptor Dreadnought dies and blows up. Only 1 inch, which will hit the guy next to him and wound him on a 2, and he needs to make a 2-up save. What did I roll? 4. And make the save. As the Contemptor dies a fiery death, the Leviathan puts his 2 melters point blank into my Palatine blades, and he hits on 2s. And he wounds on 2s. And one of them dies. He's got Volkite Cavaliers in his chest, which is 6 shots hitting on 2s. And they're twin linked.
We're re-rolling. We're good.
Everything hits. Strength 6 wounds on 2s.
Ooh.
And that is 4 wounds. But I do have Artificer Armor save of a 2-up. And I make the saves. The Rhino can see. The Rhino's putting some shots in as well to the Palatine blade. 2 shots. And one of them hits. It doesn't wound.
Nope.
Those guys behind can't see. You probably... No. I think that's it for the shooting phase.
I think we're done for shooting.
He needs to take a leadership test. He's okay. He stands there wondering where his mate has got to. You're not charging with the Leviathan because you want to keep it in the deployment zone.
Definitely.
But over here, with the +2 Berserk Rampage, you can't fail the charge. I'm going to have to Overwatch. I did the Overwatch, no damage caused, tanking it all on your champion, who gets to fight first. With a pair of lightning claws and being a world eater, he's got 7 attacks on the charge. That's crazy. And he hits on 3s. And he's going to kill on 4s, re-rolling everything.
Yeah.
Re-rolling?
Yeah.
These are AP3. Only 2?
Oh.
I feel like I have to tank these on my Artificer.
Yeah. Like that.
Like that. I've tanked them on my Artificer. Interesting. Then you've got the Meteoric Hammer, which you swing around, which is 4 attacks on the charge. And he hits 3 times. He'll wound on 2s. And 5s I won't get a save against. Now, I have to put that on... it happens at the same time, so that goes on the Sergeant, kills him. And these... You kill 2. Then I get to pile in and fight back. We pile in. I've got 5 that can fight. And I actually managed to hit once, but I don't manage to wound. I lost 2. Leadership 6, which I fail, and we're initiative roll off again one more time. I've got a 7 in total. You've got an 8 in total. You sweep the whole squad. You have a 9 in total, in fact. And that is the end of turn 1. Your champion has swept through that entire squad here. In fact, falling back from that Dreadnought turned out to be the best thing to jump on this squad, which was worth 2 points. Yeah. So we're both good at each other's Warlord. You've got 3 points in my deployment zone. I've got 3 points in your deployment zone. This game could go on to turn 6 on a roll of a 4+. I don't know what we're going to do in turn 6, but would you like to roll?
Let's roll it and see what happens.
Okay. It ends. And this is the way the world ends? Well, no, Islam 3 doesn't end at this point yet, and we don't know who's won.
No.
Do you think you've won?
I don't know.
who's won.
So the only thing I was looking at was like, if you'd have got, can you get a big enough advance to get down here, and could I get a big enough advance to get an extra unit in if we had one more turn? But that's not. So now I don't know. I'm like, oh, I think you've got it just because you've still got.
With your 18-inch advance, you could have jumped them down here, and there's 2 units there.
Yeah.
So we counted everything up at the very end of the game. How many kill points did you get?
I got 9. No, I got 10 of yours.
You got 10. How many did I get? 9. So you killed one more thing. What?
Oh, your levies. Oh, your contempt is 1 kill point or 2.
They're 2 kill points. As soon as the battle begins, they count as 2 separate units for all respects. So at the end of the game, the person who kills more gets an additional point. So it's 5 points to 4 in favour of the World Eaters, and they win.
Such a
this day. They developed this kill box here along the Avenue of Martyrs, and there was a lot of killing.
There was a lot of killing.
The thing is, Khan has gone, but he'll get better. And there's still another Praetor running around, or at least your champion running around over there. So you still have a HQ. You still have some form of command structure. And this unit is like, well, we were told to break through. We bust through. And they're like, where? So it feels like you should have won that. And only just. Because these guys are prowling now behind the World Eaters lines, and we're going to set up melter charges and demo charges and all the stuff back there. What a close game.
Going to go on and fight some more Emperor's Children that way.
Yeah.
Awesome. You know, every time I play it, I think at the beginning I'm going, oh no, we've overkilled it. Oh no, it's going to end in 2 turns, and it just keeps going. And everything keeps dying, and it's so close.
I think what happens in a lot against a Horus Heresy for me is more than half of the stuff dies in the first turn or 2. Yeah. It's just absolutely brutal. 75% of the stuff gets wiped out in the first couple of turns, and then you end up running around with a couple of units here, there, and everywhere.
Which feels even more fluffy than because it's not all Siege of Terror, massive epic battles. Exactly. It's all those little stories of little squads of elite guys going through the buildings and taking the this and destroying the that and killing this guy, and
heroes were made this day.
Exactly.
Like your champion charging into that tactical squad that got blown out of the Rhino and slaughtered them. Khan charging point blank into a unit of las cannon devastators. They eventually took him down. The other thing I like about Horus Heresy is in many games, not all of them, but many of the games, you don't know who's won until the very end.
Yeah.
Like we had to go away and count and double check and triple check
exactly.
and make sure that the numbers were correct.
So close.
But in the end, it is a victory for the World Eaters by 1 point. Finally, the last thing left to say is this is an absolutely gorgeous table. Thank you to urbanmats.com for providing the paddle mat, and thank you to James from marchofwar.co.uk for all the lovely scenery that you see around here.
Thank you very much.
And all the bases and the things like that.
Man, thank you so much for setting up such an amazing looking table and having such an amazing game with me. It's always a pleasure.
I don't mean to blow smoke up your ass, but it's easy to set up good tables when you have such gorgeous terrain.
Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind.
Anyway, if you'd like to support me, then consider becoming a channel member. That unlocks lots of extra videos, and also my Discord. At tier 3 you get all the extra videos and my Discord content and stuff like that. And later in the year, me and you are going to be doing a narrative event. Well, not a narrative event, a fun
competitive event.
Fun competitive. I like the way you said that. Is it 1st of October?
Yes, that sounds right.
If you're in the Discord and you're a member, then right at the top of the Discord, it's the pinned event.
Yeah.
Come along, come and meet us, say hi. We're calling it March of Winters because one of the prizes is I'm going to set up a table with your terrain on it.
Yep.
So it's going to look glorious like this. And at the end of the day, it's going to be one of the prizes, including the battle mat and all the little bits of stone.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to bring a dustpan and brush to give the but you're looking at quite a lot of terrain, and hopefully...
It's a serious prize.
It's a serious prize.
It's a really cool prize.
Have you put it together yet?
I haven't, no. No, because they're not going to store it till then. We'll get it ready for next time I come down. I'm going to bring it to you.
Yeah, give me all the stuff. I can make a really dense city fight thing.
Exactly.
I'm always happy to get more terrain. Anyway, we do hope you enjoyed that battle report. Happy wargaming.